dun dun!
Hey guys, what's up? It's your boy, the greatest singer in the world as far as I'm concerned. And today we're talking about something very ironic to what I just said, which is criticism. Today we're going to talk about criticism. Now, I like to think that criticism, in a certain way, is like beauty. It's in the eye of the beholder. Now, what I mean by that is that criticism is good. It's good to be bad. It's good to be, it's good to say something negative. It's good to say something positive. There's no real bad way you give your opinion. And that's what we're all about here at In My Opinion. I'm acting like there's more than one person here. My point is that coming from a certain person, it can hurt. I think that when it comes down to, especially with the internet, if some random stranger says something about your video, or says something about something you did, or something you're putting yourself out there for, then that's not really that big of a deal. A complete stranger means nothing to me. I think more so criticism is harder to take when it's someone that you care about and you really want them to like something. Now, I could be just saying that because I am the type of person who is a people pleaser, but my whole thing is that I don't like the fact that when it comes to criticism, it really hurts more when it's someone that I care about. I think when it's someone I care about, it kind of affects me. Especially since, you hang out with people who you expect to have the same kind of sense of humor or the same kind of mindset. So, criticism is good and criticism is bad. I think that getting bad criticism is fine. When it's malicious, of course, it's kind of like, okay, now you're just being spiteful. But there's a lot of stuff that I could say about people that do stuff, but unless it's something that I, legitimately care about, I'm not going to say anything. There's people out there that I can complain about, but I don't really bother because it's really not going to affect me in any way. To the point of, if I'm complaining about something that's not going to affect me in any way, so I don't really have a mindset or a thing or a horse in this race or any kind of expectations for it, then yeah, I guess I'd just be I wouldn't care. I wouldn't say anything. I wouldn't bother to, be a troll or say something that would affect somebody. When you're invested in something, I think it's more important, especially when it comes to, like I said, people who care about you or people who you care about their opinion. I think it's all about where they stand in your judgment zone of how you feel about the situation. I think that's the main point. I think criticism is good and bad criticism is bad because it's based on who's it's coming from, and I think that's a very big part of that. I think that's the main point that I would say that criticism gets to me. If I cared about you and you said something bad about something, I'd be like, oh shit, I need to fix that, or maybe I need to work on that. Perfect example is when I first put out the marble video. I showed my roommate, and the first thing she said was, maybe take the cursing out because, people of all ages could watch this. And I was like, you know what, I didn't think about that, but when it came to Pops, I think, yeah, it's not really something that has to be vulgar or has to be, have my potty mouth involved with it. So I decided, okay, we'll just do that then. We'll just set up the, video and just take out the whole concept of the, cursing. It's the cursing that was the only real problem, I thought. I mean, everything else was pretty fine. Nothing else as far as the pop was bad. It was quite a miracle, the fact that I put it together so quickly or so perfectly. I think I did a pretty good job of it, not to toot my own horn. But yeah, I think criticism is kind of based off... I base criticism off of who says it. Who I take value to. Who is important to me, who is important in their say in what I do or say in what I think. So that's the main point. I think criticism is just, it could be fine, depending on who says it. It's really all about who says it. I honestly think that's the only real kind of way I judge criticism. There's a lot of times I joke about stuff, and there's stuff that I like. There might be things I make fun of, but I still like it. I think it's just trying to find comedy in the things that I'm trying to talk about, or that it might not be that funny. So I try to make something funny. Or normally with depressing situations or sad situations, I try to make things funny and try to make jokes of it. In the right mindset, right, time and place, it's good. But when it comes to criticism, I don't think I get much because my channel is still small and it doesn't really matter. But when people say stuff, it does kind of, I take account into it and think about what people would want or about what people like. I mean, I talk about this a lot where my channel is I do what I want. I do what I think would be best and what I like to do. I do a lot of Siege videos, I do a lot of Overwatch, I do a lot of just different fun times with my friends, do pop videos, I do a whole bunch of stuff like that. And that's just how I do things. If someone came in and said, hey, you're doing it wrong, or hey, you're not a good channel, honestly, if it was a complete stranger, I wouldn't give a shit. It's purely based on my viewpoint or impression of that person. And that's how it should be, I think. I mean, personally, you can do it the way you want to do it, but criticism, good or bad, is good. I mean, it's good to hear other people's thoughts on something when you're creating something. As long as they're not trying to make it yours, I mean, I don't see the problem. It's that thing where, like, you just have to take things into account to make something better, or maybe, perfect example is someone posted on Reddit a Siege pop, like a custom Siege pop of one of the characters, and I was like, you know what? I've never tried to make a Siege guy, and you did great with this. I said, I think it's fantastic because you can notice it's that person, but I was like, the only thing I would do is just fix up the paint lines. Other than that, it looks great. But like, paint lines are something I have an issue with still. That's the only thing I saw that would be, I would sit there and mess with it and just try to make sure that it was done perfectly, because that's how I'm trying to keep something. Trying to make something look just professionally done and make it look good. I mean, there could be worse people out there who say something even worse, or say something like, oh, well, it's god-awful and you should never make pops again. And I mean, that's just their opinion. I honestly think, like, yeah, all right, if you think that's the case, then that's kind of rude, but still, that's your opinion, and I mean, you don't know the guy personally. Unless you did know the guy personally, then that's the case, then yeah, tell Jerry to stop making pops because he's bad at it. I don't know. Or maybe he's cutting in on your business. I honestly don't know. There's things I talk about with a lot of people about viewpoints and how they feel about something, because that's the whole point. I think life is a lot of ironically enough, very choice-based, like video games, where you make a lot of decisions you make, and whether you pay for it or where you deal with those consequences, that's up to you. It's all choices and decisions. Things happen randomly, but still, a lot of the things is what you choose to do with your life, what you choose to do with your interactions with people. It's just how life is. I think, in my opinion, it's just a concept of playing just some game. It's a game that you should be taking seriously, of course, but that's the best way I put into it. You go to the gym. That's you're leveling up your character. This is a concept I've learned through Chris Hardwick, and granted, he's not the best, I would say, as far as just in general being a good role model, or being a good voice of reason, I guess. It's not like he's a bad guy. It's just, in general, I just don't see him as that big of a person who... It seems like a lot of stuff he does is because he has to do it because, criticism or you can't really do things when you're kind of in the media mindset of, like, you can't say this, or you can't say something rude, or can't make a dirty joke. It's that kind of concept. But other than that, I think that it's that concept of you should be able to be who you want and live life as if you're trying to get better at things and trying to experience things the way you would in a video game. That's the best way I can put it together. I know it sounds stupid. It feels stupid when I say it, trust me. But that's the best way I compare it to. I mean, that's the only reason I could compare it to anything. I mean, one day you're just not going to be here one day, and experience things the way you want to experience them, regardless of what other people's criticism is. That's the main point I'm trying to get across. It's not that much of a complicated issue. I just think I have a lot of this issues with people when I talk to them about my videos and about how criticism works with certain situations. It's just that concept of you gotta just take the good with the bad, and it's just like, you know, you should really find the priorities of each person's value of what they say to you, whether or not you agree with them. Like if my brother told me something, I would agree with it because I agree that he is someone who's looking out for my best interest, or knows or has a better idea that would be like, yeah, that seems like a good idea. You know, my roommate does that a lot too, where a lot of the stuff that she says I take to heart because it feels like she would know. It's just how I take, you know, how I take things. It's how I approach the world and use criticism in a good or bad way. I mean, how you take it is all your own, but you shouldn't let it get to you. Whether or not you can change things for the better and you want to change those things, then yeah, you should change them. I mean, as far as your character, if you're a complete shit person, then you can go fuck off. That's it. Thanks for watching. Another In My Opinion. I have been streaming at twitch.tv/PookieTheWolf. Almost every weekend I'm trying to do it. Right now we're doing Dead Space. I got halfway through this weekend, and we're going to probably hit the other half and probably move on to Dead Space 2. So, thank you for everyone who stopped by on that, and hopefully you'll stop by again next week, probably Sunday, most likely Sunday. Sunday's probably my easiest day. That's where I can get a lot of editing and just free time. So yeah, we'll do that again. Like and subscribe, do all that shit. You know, or don't. People have been going many years without doing it, so it doesn't matter. Hope you guys liked the video. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you next time. Hey guys, just real quick, special thanks to MicrowaveTree on Reddit for letting me show off their first custom pop of Mute from Siege. Very cool. They were very cool about letting me use it and showing it off. Can't wait to see more from them. And, you know, I'd like to say thank you again for being super cool. Make songs because they're like, yeah, I need my new song out, or I need my diss track. Like, I'm doing my diss track now for all them haters. Like, diss tracks are most of the fucking annoyingest thing that I've heard lately, and it's been happening more and more. It might be me. I might be living in a bubble because I watch a lot of YouTube. I watch a lot of YouTube. I think the platform itself may not be great, but it's something I use on the regular and make content for. But these people I see that, trust me, have more subscribers than me and are more, you know, well off as far as the YouTube itself. It just seems very gimmicky. It's very